that line down, though.
For sure.
Yeah, they're going to be betting hard on Conor.
For sure. Maybe wait to pull the trigger on the bet because the lines are going to change.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know, man. I'm curious as to see how Conor's going to look because, like you said, 5 years off is a long time. The game changes. Now, Max is an older fighter, but still he's been current with the current game, the speed of the game, like the new stuff that everybody's doing. I don't know how Conor adjusts.
It's also the lifestyle. I think Conor lives a certain lifestyle that we've all seen, and then you can kind of tell that it's not for show, it's really his lifestyle. And Max lives a complete different lifestyle, where I've never seen Max at a club drunk. You never see him on the headlines for anything bad. That guy lives a different life where he's gym, family, gym, family, gym, family. I think that's going to pay the biggest dividends because you could be away from the sport 5 years, come back like nothing happened if you live that life.
That's a good point. That's a good point because, all right, so.
Come down after you come off all the crap, he had to be on.
I'll tell you what, man, I feel great being out of the testing pool.
Oh, yeah, me too. It's great. It was great. 100%.
So, I mean, it's been quite a long layoff for Conor. His mindset, do you think it'll be affected by the layoff, or do you think he just comes out firing?
I don't know. It depends what Conor, it could be great. It could be fuel to the fire. He could be motivated to come back and show the world, or he could be kind of lost and trying to find himself right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, but this is a guy who's probably showed the most confidence of any fitter in the history.
I would say if anybody could do it, come back from a crazy layoff, come back from a traumatic leg break, all the ups and downs outside the UFC with getting in trouble, lawsuits and stuff, it's him.
Keep going. Oh!
Guy, did you feel bad for him at any point, or what did you make of how he handled his fight week?
Not that I feel bad for him. I mean, I think everybody was promoted very well. I saw even the fighter on the prelim card get promoted very well. So I think everybody get his spot. Of course, Philippe wasn't the main guy, but he still get promoted, and then I think he was good.
And then last one for me, after this win, it seems like your options are wide open. You can box, you can fight in MMA. John Jones' name has been thrown around, Jake Paul. There's some buzz around the internet about Brock Lesnar. He just retired from the WWE. Have you heard those rumors? Is that something you've ever even thought about?
Well, I think a rumor being around.
Illustrated. Obviously, the lead up to this fight, there was a lot of goodwill between you and Gina, and I think the fight ended the way pretty much everybody was expecting it to end. But with all that goodwill, did it ever run through your mind, maybe I'll let her stand and trade with me for just a little bit?
No, not at all. Why would I do that? my husband and my kids are watching, I come from judo, maximum efficiency, minimum effort. I told her, I said I wanted to try and, give you guys a rowdy special tonight, and fortunately that's what I was able to do.
And then just...
And you could have done that. You became bigger than the sport, but you took so many risks in your career. You fought when you were taken in 50 million different directions. It seems like you now retire better than when you found the sport. Do you feel that vindication that and in contrast to your original idea about retiring undefeated, is this a storybook ending that you wanted?
I think this is much better than retiring undefeated. I think I didn't really learn until I, went into pro wrestling and saw that, if you retire with the title, you take all of that equity with you. And it would have been to the detriment of the division if I did that. And I think that's part of one reason why the 145-pound division is gone in the UFC, because it retired with Amanda, and
session, and now you're getting pulled in all these different directions, and it's hard to stay on track. That's why they always say, like, to become a champion, it's so hard, to be able to keep it and defend the belt so many times, because you have to deal with all those other things.
Was that the same for you, Dustin?
Yeah.
I mean,
for
because
sure.
like even now, like I see you now, like
He's everywhere.
your star power is still like the ripple effect is still shining.
Yeah.
So, but
But
when
Diamonds-
when did you realize that you were a star, and did that affect your fighting?
I don't think it affected my fighting, but it was definitely, like I've said this before, dude. I've had almost 30 fights in the UFC before I fought Conor the second time in Abu Dhabi, but knocking him out, when I came back to America from Abu Dhabi, it was completely different,
What's happening?
Hey, Nate, Doug Vasquez, Sports Illustrated. Obviously, the result didn't go your way. The fight got stopped. How disappointed were you that you weren't able to get back out there for the next? The fight you want, or are you open to other options as well?
Right now, yeah, that's that ASAP. Heal up and I'll start running on Monday.
Nate over here, David with Fight World Live. Win or lose, you're beloved in the sport. Yeah, your legacy is already written down. Do you feel like any sort of relief knowing that your chapter in the book is written? You're an MMA legend. I mean, is there like any as long as you make the fans happy, that's all that matters, or is there anything else or milestones you want to
No,
complete?
I got a lot of making up to do. I thought when I lost my second fight, I was like, all I knew was 2004. And all I knew was my record was already fucked. And all we knew was boxing then. And remember in boxing, it was like, if your record's 10-1, you got a loss on your record and now you're shit, right? And so that's all you knew. And so I was 1-1, so I was fucking pissed right off the bat. Like, I'm fucked.
Brother came out with a statement, and I'm going to read the statement from his brother.
Whose brother?
Hamzat's brother. Hamzat's brother came out with a statement. I'm glad you clarified that. Hamzat's brother came out with a statement and said there was a problem with the weight cut. The question became whether to cancel
Obviously,
the fight
there was a problem.
or take the risk. Oxygen deprivation, his body malfunctioned. We had to stop for an hour because his health wouldn't allow him to continue. Hamzat himself said he didn't know how he'd fight in that condition. I have an issue with this because it's not like you took the fight on a week's notice.
I just think it's a tough stylistic matchup for him. If he's loose with the big punches he throws, Ilya's so tight, combinations are short and clean. Gaethje just has to clean it up a little bit. And like I said in the past, Gaethje has said this leading up to fights, like, I have to be perfect. I have to be perfect. In this fight, he has to be perfect. Because Topuria is so dangerous.
I think
he has to be perfect.
He's gonna have to wrestle, I think, a little bit just to like add that factor in there, so when he level
least keep him
changes,
thinking
maybe
about it.
Topuria thinks it's a
The feints he'll
shot.
bite.